6 Skyview Network, sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai.
Wasn't today just simply marvelous? A marvelous Monday for sure. We're going to have a terrific Tuesday and a wonderful Wednesday. The list goes on and on with our forecast, but wait until the weekend. We'll talk about a change in our 5 to 6 forecast coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 4, an Aiken County police chase that looked like the police were chasing each other. Now a suspected car thief is in the hospital.
Plus, the ongoing construction in downtown Augusta has some who live in the area frustrated. We have reaction.
And a new home for actors and actresses in Columbia County. A long time coming. As News Channel 6 at 4 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 4.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Brad Means.
And I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thank you so much for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins with a local man facing multiple charges after leading Aiken County police safety in a chase. It happened this morning following a chase through Graniteville. It ended near Silver Bluff Road. Deputies were attempting to pull over a vehicle. The passenger, Kevin Kirkland, was arrested on drug charges and placed in the back of the patrol car. Investigators say he was able to get in the front seat and he drove off. Kirkland refused to stop, so officers did a pit maneuver, causing him to crash. He was hurt and taken to the hospital.
Like I said, I'm just glad that nobody was hurt. None of the police officers were hurt, and that they were able to stop it before it got back into town. So it's a little bit of damage to our property, but in the long run, a lot of people will probably save. So
the image then is he's stealing a police car. So you've got that image in your head, right? Police cars chasing police cars. Kirkland's charges include possession with intent to distribute methamphetamine, grand larceny, and failure to stop for blue lights and sirens.
All construction causing a ruckus for neighbors in and around, Jenny, the downtown area. You're seeing it everywhere these days.
Yeah, News Channel 6's Graham Lee joins us live from Old Town, where a lot of that work is taking place. And Graham, you spoke to some of those neighbors today.
Yes, I did, Jenny. Some of them say that this isn't a huge problem for them, but others are frustrated because they're taking away street lights while also seeing some damaged sidewalks right by their front door. I spoke with John Usreef with the Traffic Engineering Division, and he says crews have done most of the demolition along Green Street, but they're still working on the curbs and sidewalks. And this week, their focus will be on the block between 1st and 2nd Streets while things are still going here at Green Street. While all this is going on, though, some in this area say it's become difficult to do the simplest of things.
it's been pretty frustrating to just even do things like, okay, I've got to go to practice, so great, I'm going to take 20 minutes just to get something that should only take 10 minutes. So it's been pretty frustrating to figure out how long to plan things to get to places.
So Usry tells us that the construction going on here at Green Street is one of 5 projects going on here in downtown Augusta. And while things are on schedule, those here can expect construction to continue for the next 2 to 3 years. For now, live in Augusta, Graham Lee, WJBF, News Channel 6. Back to you guys.
An Augusta commissioner says it is time to end changing names.
And I'm going to talk all about that and how to prepare for it, too, in just a few minutes. Jenny, Brent.
All right, Tim, we need to give you a heads up about something this Wednesday. Don't be alarmed. TVs, radios, your cell phones, all are going to be part of a nationwide emergency alert test. FEMA and the FCC are doing this just to make sure they're ready in the event of an actual emergency. So what does it mean for you? 2:20 in the afternoon on Wednesday, you are going to hear that sound on all of your devices. And again, don't be alarmed, just a test.
We have a requirement here, and it's also the right thing to do to be able to communicate with all of our faculty, staff, students, patients here in our community, here at the university. And we do that through a vendor that we have, and we call our process is our JAG alert. And whenever we send out a JAG alert, it goes to everybody that's inside of that mass notification system.
Yeah, it's going to be a tone, a unique tone that you probably haven't heard on your phone before, and a vibration. So just look out for that Wednesday.
This week, Barclay Bishop continues her series on child trafficking in the CSRA. And tomorrow, she's focusing on what schools are doing to help protect your child. Middle and high school age students are prime targets of becoming a victim. Several districts in our area are beefing up training to help teachers and bus drivers know what to look for. Many of them are learning there are several key signs to help them identify a possible victim even faster.
If we're looking at child trafficking, a lot of the kids, big red flag for that is truancy, not going to school, running away.
Tomorrow, Barclay will explain what those truancy numbers look like in some of our biggest school districts and tell you what's being done about it on News Channel 6 at 6. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is a very hot topic right now, and it is not going away. So, what are its implications in education? Tuesday on Jenny, 2 leaders at Augusta University addressed that. They have helped mold how it should be used in education, and they share what information they have with us. The director of the Center for Writing Excellence says AI software sounds human-like as it's making predictions about how people talk and what will come next. Is that scary to you?
For me, it's not scary if it's used responsibly and ethically. And I know, at Augusta University and in the Center for Writing Excellence where we work, we've been focusing a lot on ethics. Like not necessarily that AI is good or bad in and of itself, but there are good and bad uses of it and times when it's better to use it versus others.
We'll learn about ChatGPT and other tools that can help with time management, plus details about the annual Boo Bash at the Marx Museum. It's a free, fun time for the whole family, and author Susan Zarenda will be in the studio this Tuesday at 12:30 on Jenny.
A half-century-old theater company in Columbia County finally is going to get a new home. Hannah Latier takes a look at what we can expect.
After setbacks due to COVID and 2 years of construction, Flowing Walls Theater will soon be open to spread the word of God through entertainment. The 160-seat building will be home to Inopion Theater Company, which currently uses a 56-seat theater. This is something that has been in the works for over 5 years, and there's been many donations and supporters who have helped make it happen. Inopion is a Greek word that means in the presence of. The director hopes the new theater will put more people in the presence of God.
I'm not a person that can stand on a street corner or I can go up to you and say, let me tell you about Jesus. This is how I do it, with using theater, writing the shows, and that's how we spread the gospel message.
Roselli says construction should be complete within the next few weeks, and they hope to have their first production in November. We'll have more information on how to get involved with Inopion Theater Company at WJBF.com. In Martinez, Hannah Latier, WJBF News Channel 6.
A local group working hard to make life better for children. It's the Augusta Partnership for Children, and they kicked off Children's Week with a parade over the weekend. They want to empower our young people. Lots of fun festivities at the Common to make sure that message got out.
For people with severe allergies, a bee sting or a dose of antibiotics can quickly turn life-threatening.
You have to be careful coming up. A woman sharing her recent experience, hoping that it can serve as a warning to others when we come back.
If you haven't had an allergic reaction by the time you're an adult, you probably assume you're in the clear. But that's not always the case.
A meteorologist out of Raleigh, North Carolina, shares her story after a bee sting hospital scare. Maggie Newland has more.
After going most of her life without a bee sting, CBS 17 meteorologist Laura Smith was recently stung for the first time. She didn't think too much of it until a month later she was stung again.
This time, within 30 minutes, I started having some major reactions. The worst of it, confusion, shortness of breath, hives, itching all over my body.
She made it to urgent care.
It was really scary. I got there just in time and stuck me with an EpiPen, and I instantly felt relief.
She spent the day at the hospital, grateful she knew the signs of a severe allergy, even though she never realized she had one.
And I thought I was in the clear, and I wasn't in the clear.
The number one symptom we're looking for is itch.
UNC Health allergist Dr. Edwin Kim says it's important to know when to seek help.
Where we get most nervous is if it affects breathing in any way. So whether that's going to be kind of difficulty getting in air or coughing or wheezing like like you might have an asthma or even swelling in a throat type area. Those are absolutely ones where you want to get that emergency epinephrine as quick as possible.
He says some people don't become aware of allergies until adulthood. It's also possible to develop allergies as an adult.
It's going to be medications, drug allergies that are the biggest cause for adults.
If you have a severe allergy and carry an EpiPen, Dr. Kim says it's important to use it if you need it.
So many patients decide not to use the life-saving epinephrine because they're scared of the injection.
The EpiPen is my best right now.
While Laura hopes she'll never need hers, she's glad she has it just in case.
I feel safe now. That eases my mind.
Goodness. Well, doctors say keep track of your exposures and the timing of your symptoms.
And be sure to ask your doctor to schedule an allergy test for you. Once you know what you're allergic to, after all, then the allergist can come up with a good treatment plan. Starting today, the Augusta Free Derm Clinic will provide cancer screenings, biopsies, exams for spot concerns or rashes, and prescriptions to eligible patients. This is the first Monday of every month they do this.
Just head over to Centro Medico on Mary Street from 5:30 until 8 p.m. We've got information about how to schedule an appointment on our website, WJBF.com.
Cooler days and nights ahead. How's that sound?
Lambert Hyundai.
Well, I'll tell you, if you liked today's forecast, you're going to love the forecast for the rest of the week. Some wonderful fall weather headed our way. However, some mighty big changes coming our way this weekend. We'll talk all about that with the 5 for 6 forecast straight ahead.
Now, on News Channel 6 at 6, Augusta leaders set to vote on new names for several places. Why one commissioner says he is changing his position.
Plus, a nationwide emergency alert test. What you need to know ahead of the trial run.
And a police chase in Aiken County. What we know about the suspect accused of stealing a police car. As your news at 6 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 6.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jenny Montgomery.
I'm Brad Means. Thanks for joining us. We do appreciate it. Coverage you can count on begins with the push to rename 3 pieces of city property. Feel like we've been talking. Construction is causing some headaches for neighbors in and around the downtown Augusta area. Graham Lee, live from Old Town, where a lot of that work is taking place. And Graham, I know you did have a chance today to talk to some of the neighbors.
Yes, I did, Brad. I spoke to some of these neighbors on this road, and some of them say it's not a big problem for them, but others say they are frustrated with seeing streetlights being taken away and seeing damage on sidewalks right by their front door. I spoke with John Usry with the Traffic Engineering Division, and he says crews have been working and gotten most of the demolition along Green Street done, but they're still working on the curbs and the sidewalks. This week, their focus will be on the block between 1st and 2nd Streets. But while all this is going on, some of this area say it's become difficult to do the simple things.
It's been pretty frustrating to just even do things like, okay, I've got to go to practice, so great, I'm going to take 20 minutes just to get something that should only take 10 minutes. So it's been pretty frustrating to figure out how long to plan things to get to places.
Now, Usry tells us the work here at Old Town is one of 5 projects going on in downtown Augusta. And while he says the things are going on schedule, people here can expect these construction projects to continue for the next 2 to 3 years. For now, live in Augusta, Graham Lee, WJBF, News Channel 6. Back to you guys.
It is time now for a check of the weather.
Here's Chief Meteorologist Tim Miller.
And
all right, Tim, thank you very much. There's a test we want you to know about that's happening this week to make sure a national emergency alert system works. You'll see it and hear it on your TV, your radio, and your devices. FEMA and the FCC are doing this. It's at 2:20 Wednesday afternoon. Just making sure things work if there's ever an actual emergency.
We have a requirement here, and it's also the right thing to do to be able to communicate with all of our faculty, staff, students, patients here in our community, here at the university. And we do that through a vendor that we have, and we call our process is our JAG alert. And whenever we send out a JAG alert, it goes to everybody that's inside of that mass notification system.
Remember, that's at 2:20 Wednesday afternoon.
a local man facing charges tonight after deputies in Aiken County say he led them on a chase. It happened this morning after a chase through Graniteville. It ended near Silver Bluff Road, and deputies tried to pull over the vehicle. They did. and they arrested the passenger, Kevin Kirkland, on drug charges. Then they put him in the back of the patrol car, and then he got in the front seat and drove off. Look what it did to that patrol car when they finally did a pit maneuver and made him crash. He was hurt and is in the hospital.
I would say I'm just glad that nobody was hurt. None of the police officers were hurt, and that they were able to stop it before it got back into town. So it's a little bit of damage to our property, but in the long run, a lot of people will probably save. So.
Kirkland faces a lot of charges, including possession with intent to distribute meth, grand larceny, and failure to stop for blue lights.
This week, Barclay Bishop continues her series on child trafficking in the CSRA, and tomorrow she's focusing on what schools are doing to help protect your child. Middle and high school students are prime targets of becoming a victim. Several districts in our area are beefing up training to help teachers and bus drivers know what to look for. Many of them are learning there are several key signs to help them identify a possible victim even faster.
If we're looking at child trafficking, a lot of the kids, big red flag for that is truancy, not going to school, running away.
Tomorrow, Barclay will explain what those truancy numbers look like in some of our local school districts and tell you what's being done about it. That's tomorrow on News Channel 6 at 6.
Coming up right here, a government shutdown temporarily avoided.
Why the trouble could be just beginning for House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. First, though, a look at what's ahead tonight on News Nation.
Tonight on Martinez Boulevard, visit When Help Can't Wait for a Store Today. Open Monday through Thursday, 10 to 4.
Nobody does high school football better than News Channel 6, the most trusted name in local sports. Join us for football Friday night, Fridays at 11:35 on News Channel 6. Powered by Eichholz Law Firm. WJBF News Channel 6 proudly presents Salute to Service, honoring the outstanding accomplishments of servicemen and women who go above and beyond the call of duty, both on the battlefield and in our community. To nominate a service member, go to WJBF.com/salute and fill out the nomination form. Then tune into News Channel 6 at 5:30 on the third Wednesday of each month to help us honor our Salute to Service Award recipient. Child trafficking in our schools.
It's something we don't talk about every day, and unfortunately we have to have those conversations because it's out there.
What are local schools doing to identify at-risk children, and what's being done to protect them?
Continuing to increase that awareness, I think, is the only hope that we have. We have a lot that we're not reaching. Adults need to be willing to step up.
A News Channel 6 special report, hidden in plain sight, tomorrow on Good Morning Augusta.
Hey, CSRA.